Today we have a very special presentation designed to give you some information about a very fast-growing company called Gladiacoin, which launched in December of last year. It is picking up momentum on a worldwide basis because of the fact that it is a platform which can enable you to double your Bitcoin in just 90 days. And so during the presentation, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Bitcoin. For those of you that might just be entering this space for the first time, it's important that we elevate your awareness as to this global currency that is just sweeping the world, and then tie it into the platform of Gladiacoin, which shows you how to accumulate Bitcoin. This is not a virtual coin like other companies. Gladiacoin is not a coin. It is simply a platform, and the coin that we are basically helping you to accumulate is Bitcoin. So let's talk a little bit about the history of Bitcoin, because it's a short history when you think about a currency. Because in 2009, a person or a group of people under the assumed name of Satoshi Nakamoto, to this day, we still do not know who this individual is, man, woman, or a group of people. Even though it's worth over $30 billion, they have never stepped forward to identify themselves, but they wrote a paper and published it online called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And this person, Satoshi, envisioned that Bitcoin would allow anyone online to send payments directly to third parties around the world without incurring a third-party transfer. I mean, if you go to transfer money from the bank, you have to fill out a form. They withdraw the money from your account, or you pay in cash, and then you have to pay a bank wire fee of about anywhere from $30 to $45, depending on the transaction, but that's only the initial charge. And then, of course, if it's a different currency, then they're going to give you the lowest possible buy and sell rate on the currency, so they're making quite a bit of money that way, to the tune of tens of billions of dollars. And then you got the easy ones to use, which are like PayPal, Western Union, and MoneyGram. And, you know, Western Union, for example, to give you an idea, I mean, most of us have used that. You know, here they're promoting, you know, send $50 for $5. And you think, well, that's pretty cheap. But what if you send $1,000? It might be 100. That's going to be about 10%. But I can send that same amount from my phone. I could be laying on the beach, and as long as I have access to my Bitcoin, I can make that same transaction to anybody in the world for about a penny. And so it just makes sense that people are looking for a solution to where they can save on these fees. And that was the whole premise behind this white paper that Satoshi published back in 2009. And I have a copy of this white paper. It's available on the internet everywhere, but I just try to make that information available on our team website, which you can go and look at anytime. And so here's the face of Bitcoin. Nobody to this day knows who it is. So there's a lot of mystery behind it. And I have a feeling it's because he wanted, or they wanted, the people to focus on the invention of Bitcoin and blockchain technology, not the individual. But when it was released, it couldn't have been at a better time. I call it the perfect storm, because Bitcoin is a digital currency that is not regulated by any government or private entity. It is decentralized. And it came out right at the time where we were coming out of one of the worst financial meltdowns in history. You know, the banks are being bailed out to the tune of tens of billions of dollars, if not hundreds of billions, by our government. And it had a tremendous domino effect throughout the world. I mean, you know, when the U.S., you know, suffers, you know, people feel it over here, let me tell you. But Bitcoin was the world's strongest currency in the years 2010 through 2013, outperforming gold. And to bring it up to date in 2017, with the exception of 1 year, it has still remained the strongest currency in the world. And yet you cannot physically put it in your pocket. It is a currency that is on the internet. Well, what is the value of a Bitcoin? Well, back in 2010, it was worth 10 cents. Nobody really knew where it was going. There weren't merchants that would accept Bitcoin, but yet people saw the future on this. Many of them laughed at it and they said it'll never go to $1, okay? But look at 2017. The average value right now has been right at $1,800. I mean, it dips a little bit. It's down today a little bit, which is great, so I can buy some more. But, you know, it's reached over $1,850 this month. So let me kind of put this into perspective. 6 years ago, if you had $100 and you're reading about this cryptocurrency called Bitcoin, you go, you know what, I think there might be a future in this, even though you can't really know how it's going to work. But you took $100, which would have bought you 1,000 Bitcoins 6 years ago, 1,000 coins. That'd be worth 1.8 million today. And then I took it a step further. I'm looking at that. I said, you know, I want to rub just a little salt in the wound. And I started Gladiacoin with 1 Bitcoin, which is worth about $1,000. And if I'd taken that $1,000 6 years ago, I could have purchased 10,000 Bitcoins. And today, ladies and gentlemen, that Bitcoin portfolio, the increase in the accumulation of value would be worth $18 million today. And that's just the beginning of where Bitcoin is headed. Because will it be issued forever? The short answer is no. There will only be 21 million Bitcoins that will ever be in circulation. That's it. So it will increase in value because it's a limited commodity, a controlled supply. Can you imagine if there were only $21 million in circulation worldwide? What would the value of a dollar be? I can tell you what, it'd be worth a fortune, right? You'd be looking, your penny jar would be worth millions of dollars. And so to give you an idea where it's going to be worth in the future, futurologists have predicted conservatively 4,000 per Bitcoin, and we're talking by the end of this year, 4,000. But that's nothing in comparison to the people that are actually part of this space. The blockchain CEO predicts Bitcoin price will hit 500,000 per Bitcoin by the year 2030. And here's the first investor in Snapchat thinks each coin realistically will be worth 500,000 by the year 2030. And because it's a controlled supply, it's only going to increase in value. So you'll be able to buy fractions of a Bitcoin. So here, none of us can go back to 2010 and buy Bitcoin for 10 cents a Bitcoin, just like none of us can go back, you know, to 1970 and buy gold for $35 an ounce. Those days are gone. But here today, we're gathered because here's a chance for us to move forward and to accumulate as much Bitcoin in our portfolio as possible. So here's major companies that have invested in Bitcoin, from all multi-billion-dollar corporations. And I mean, from American Express to even Western Union got involved with it. And then you've got some of the top business leaders, like the richest man in the world, Bill Gates, who's a real advocate of Bitcoin. He talks about the future of this currency. You can read about what he has to say online. Here's Sir Richard Branson, another multi-billionaire who founded the Virgin Empire. And you've got political leaders. Here's Ben Bernanke, for example, who served 2 terms as chairman of the Federal Reserve, what he feels about these virtual currencies. And not to be left out, but I found a nice quote from Al Gore, and I've got a list of like the 100 quotes, the best quotes about Bitcoin on my website. So it's literally who's who in every profession. And here are just a few of the Bitcoin millionaires. You remember when the dot-com era was real popular, you had all these dot-com millionaires, and they're the Winklevoss twins because they were popular from the movie The Social Network, when they claimed that they actually had the first Facebook. And then in the middle there's a name that I might throw at you. His name is Roger Ver, and he's a very passionate spokesperson about Bitcoin. He was there when Bitcoin surpassed $1. When the skeptics said, oh, this is a Ponzi, it'll never work, it'll never get to $1. Well, he bought upwards of, you know, a lot of Bitcoin and then increased his portfolio. Today, he owns 500,000 Bitcoins. So it's pretty incredible. And guess what? Our faces can be on here because we can be this generation of Bitcoin millionaires if we have the right platform. And we're going to show you that later. Now, in order to store Bitcoin, since it's a virtual currency, you need a special wallet. And it's called a Bitcoin wallet. You can find these wallets online. The most popular that we use as a group is Blockchain because it's so simple to use. And they've got an app version so you can have it on your smartphone. And there's others, Coinbase and Copay, Zappo, just to name a few. And BitPay is real popular because they've got a Visa card. If you're in the United States, you can get the Visa card for about $10. They mail it to your door. And then instead of uploading currency, cash, like from your bank account, which would be your credit limit, they can tie it into your Bitcoin account. So, you know, if you had 1 Bitcoin and it's worth 1,800, for example, that would be your credit line on that Visa. And so you can use that anywhere. And there's a lot of people on our team who've got that card. I'm here in Thailand, so I'm not able to get that, but I could mail it to my US address and then, you know, they can send it over to me. MasterCard got involved with it as well. And so this is very common now. because the first question they ask me is, okay, if I get this Bitcoin, how can I spend it? How can I turn it into currency? Well, I'm kind of showing you some of the outlets that are available, but it's as easy to turn into cash as it is easy to buy the Bitcoin. And for those of you that want to have a little bit more peace of mind, as we begin to accumulate 500, 1,000 Bitcoins, we can take it completely offline through one of these many gadgets that are encrypted hard drives. And we can store all of our Bitcoin there, and it is completely offline. And then if we want to send some Bitcoin to our wallet, then we can send a couple of coins here and there from our device. And that way, everything is right there, right in front of you. It is never online. So here's what a blockchain wallet looks like. When you register for one, it's free, by the way. You don't have to upload anything. It's just you want to create a wallet so that you can send and receive Bitcoin. And when you do that, you're going to get a wallet ID that's going to identify you, and then you're going to get an address. And that address, it does not name you as a person. It doesn't have your address in there. It doesn't have your social security number. It doesn't have your last 3 digits of your credit card. Like, we give out this information freely online, and then people get, the problem with identity theft. Here, everything is encrypted. You're just known by an address. And so if you want to send Bitcoin, you just simply copy and paste the address, or you can use a QR code, and you can just take a scan of somebody's wallet and be able to send Bitcoin. I mean, here you're sending a payment of 3.13 Bitcoin, and that's going to one of the addresses that you see there on the right. And then to receive Bitcoin, it's very easy. You just give out this address. You can put it in your email. You can send a text message. You can hold up your phone and send. Actually, you can actually send the QR code to somebody to where they can scan it. All the details are there, including the amount of Bitcoin. But here you're receiving 0.1 Bitcoin. So it's very easy to get used to this. It's like carrying a bank on your phone. I mean, you can send Bitcoin anywhere in the world, any time of day, 24 hours a day. You don't have to wait for the banks to open or the Western Union office. You don't have to jump in the car and, worry about the traffic or anything like that. It is so convenient to use, and that's why there's over 10 million registered users of Bitcoin to date, and it's growing. And now they're even making it simpler and easier for consumers. They've got Bitcoin ATM machines. Here was a news broadcast on ATM that took place in San Diego. And here is an actual ATM machine that's in Thailand. This happens to be in Phuket, and they're the major banks that are in Thailand that you see there. And you can walk up to the machine, put in cash, or put in your debit card and actually get Bitcoin back into your wallet. It's pretty amazing. And this is going to be commonplace. I mean, 5 years from now, people are going to go, wasn't it always that way? But again, the ATM machines look really, really sharp. A friend of mine who lives in Vegas actually was in the lobby, and they had the ATM machine there, and he took a picture for me, so it was really nice. So here's where you can purchase with Bitcoin. They're setting up the processing systems like Visa, MasterCard, making it so easy for customers to be able to pay with Bitcoin. None of the major retailers want to be left out because, everybody's competing for consumer dollars right now. And if Bitcoin is relevant, then they want to make sure that they're part of it. So you got Subway and Dunkin' Donuts. You can even use Expedia to book trips now using Bitcoin. And so they're advertising this. So they're getting out to that market, that niche market of those 10 million consumers who have Bitcoin. That's growing, that's doubling every year because they want to include themselves on that. Plus the fact that it accumulates in value. A smart company might decide to hold on to those Bitcoin or a portion of it for future revenues. Realtors are getting involved now. It's kind of across the board. I mean, you can buy a cup of coffee or you can buy a house, So here's a realtor that is advertising Bitcoin accepted here in their ads, and you can literally rent or buy a house using Bitcoin. In fact, that's what this gentleman did in Kansas. He actually purchased a home using Bitcoin. And I'm thinking this would be kind of nice, maybe he had a sign in his front yard and it says, we accept Bitcoin as payment. And this guy said, wow, that's great. So he walked up to the owner, they negotiate a price, he pulls out his phone and he goes, hold up your phone on the QR code so you can receive my Bitcoin. And they did the transaction in seconds, and it might have only cost him $0.25 to do that, bypassing the bank. So what a way to do business, right? But here's a realtor in California that had some major properties, 3.2 million, 2.3 million respectively. And I'm only kind of giving you the tip of the iceberg. I don't want to show you, all the different transactions. I'm just trying to open your eyes a little bit as to where Bitcoin is being used in the economy. Now, one of the main reasons that Bitcoin jumped from $900 to over $1,850 was the announcement that was made on April 1st. And it wasn't an April Fool's Day joke. It was literally the country of Japan officially recognizes Bitcoin and digital currencies as money. I mean, this is just an amazing announcement because it's already had an impact in Asia, and many other countries are following suit now. So it's not you've got the Japanese yen and now you have Bitcoin. It's accepted like a currency as money. And so there was an article, there's many articles that you can go and read about this, but all the major banks in Japan are now getting behind the Bitcoin exchanges. There are two components that you need if you want to purchase Bitcoin and sell Bitcoin. And that is you need the wallet, which I showed you already, but you also need to open up an account with an exchange. And think of an exchange as like a bank account for Bitcoin. It's how you buy Bitcoin and it's how you sell Bitcoin. So you exchange currency to Bitcoin and exchange Bitcoin back to currency, if that makes sense. And so to set up the account is free. You don't even have to put in a deposit, which is kind of nice. But they do have the KYC, know your customer rule in effect. All exchanges around the world have this. So once you upload and verify your ID, you can have your account set up in minutes, and then you can actually go buy Bitcoin. And I kind of want to take this moment to make this disclaimer that you do not need Gladiacoin in order to buy and sell Bitcoin. You can do that on your own. We're just kind of going to show you a way that you can accumulate it much faster. And so over 260,000 stores in Japan are currently being set up to be able to accept Bitcoin. And so you could take a trip to Japan right now and never use currency. You can pay your hotel bill, Bitcoin. You can go to the restaurant, Bitcoin, rental car, the whole 9 yards, okay? And so what you're going to see is a lot of retailers getting behind this because they're after the consumer dollar and they don't want to be left out. I mean, Japan is absolutely going ballistic with the trading on Bitcoin. And so here's what you're going to see, and this is going to be as common in the US and everywhere around the world, and you're getting to see this right now, is next to the Visa, MasterCard, Diners Club, American Express logo on the stores, you're going to see Bitcoin accepted there. And let me tell you something, I've got my eyes out here in Thailand because it's a big shopping mecca, and I'm waiting for the first retailer to open up and accept Bitcoin. I mean, I'm going to stand in line when that happens, okay? So the country of Australia followed suit starting in July. They are going to recognize cryptocurrency Bitcoin as official money in Australia. And I heard that Russia is also next. And so you're seeing this ripple effect of countries that are embracing this currency because it's global. I can send money from here in Thailand to somebody in Africa just as easy as I could to Miami, Florida in fractions of seconds, okay? So Bitcoin trading is taking place on a regular basis. It's connected to the market 24/7. There are many cryptocurrencies that they can trade against each other. And, it's similar in a way to a stock or Forex, where the objective is to, buy low and sell high. Okay. So it's the timing, knowing how to do that. But what I was really amazed is the amount of cryptocurrencies that are available for trade. And these are actual registered cryptocurrencies. There are currencies that are not registered. Some of those companies. But 710 cryptocurrencies. I was on a call on Sunday night with Scott's group, and he said it's now up to 742. Okay. Oh, I see 740. No wonder. At any rate, some of these currencies, I would consider Bitcoin to be like the elephant in the room. They control 70% of the market. But there's a lot of money that can be made trading Bitcoin against these other, I would say, top 20 or top 50 cryptocurrencies. And the whole premise behind Gladiacoin is that they're willing to, share in the profits of that on a daily basis with the members. So that's who we are, a group of highly specialized professionals from all over the world. And we trade a large volume of Bitcoin daily. And how we're able to do that is we're pulling our Bitcoin collectively as a group, as a member, and we're saying, look, you know, I've only got maybe one Bitcoin, you know, to trade, but if I elect to get involved with Gladiacoin, I'm going to allow them to accept my Bitcoin as a payment for a package, and in return, they're going to give me a percentage of what they're doing with the volume trading, which is going to be tremendous. You know, these guys are specialists. They have the knowledge of the Bitcoin trading platform. It is very sustainable, so it can generate a very high income. I know one trader in particular, on a bad day, he said that he can earn 30%, and that's on a bad day because you've got 710 cryptocurrencies. So they're using, you know, live trading, and they're also using artificial intelligence in the way of algorithms and computer software that can make trades in microseconds, okay, and also be able to forecast where trades are going to be made. They've done very, very well with that. And so, you know, here's an idea of just like a few coins of the cryptocurrency that's available. I picked one out because John told me about this, and I thought he was kidding me on cannabis coin. And I was laughing. I said, come on, there's no cannabis coin. He goes, no, seriously, Rick, you know, the dispensaries, the banks won't touch them to set up a merchant account. They're only taking cash. And so they got together and they wanted to have their own coin. And so they did. They registered cannabis coin. It's ranked number 219, but look what you can buy it for. You know, fractions of a penny. Imagine if that went up to a nickel or a dime, or imagine $1. I mean, if you had any quantity of this, it could be worth a lot of money. And there are trades that are being made like this every single day. Here's another one called We Trust, which is ranked number 46. It's got a market cap of only 15 million, but this is a coin that is special to the insurance industry. You can go on their website and check it out. I want to buy this coin. And you get opened up to a lot of different coins that are out there in these niche markets. Ethereum, you know, came out of nowhere and it's closing in on $100 now. I mean, it was only just a couple dollars, you know, less than a year ago. So there's a lot of money that is in this space if you pay attention to it. I'm not saying you have to become a trader, but you can pay attention to maybe 20, the top 20. So here are the exclusive benefits of Gladiacoin. Here's where you can participate. This program will double your Bitcoin value in 90 days from the plan selected. Now, you don't have to wait 90 days until you see any Bitcoin. They're literally paying that out on a daily basis. So you're seeing results every day. Now, if you have less than 0.03 Bitcoin that you're entitled to, it will wait until it accumulates. And 0.03 is approximately $39 in Bitcoin. And I found out the reason that they don't send less than 0.03 is because there's hardly any fees attached to it, and it would take too long to get through the blockchain system where everything has to be verified. So 0.3 is what we call the sweet spot, okay? 0.03, sorry. So it will duplicate. So if you have 1 Bitcoin, it becomes 2. If you have 2, it becomes 4. 4 become 8. 4 Bitcoin is the maximum that you can get started with in any one account. There are no tedious activities. You don't have to have, you know, 4 different monitors on your desk and tuned in to CNN and MSNBC in order to become effective at this, because our traders are doing that. We're pulling our Bitcoin in small increments from 1 to 4 Bitcoin at a time. And that means our traders are probably working with anywhere from 1,000, 2,000 Bitcoins at any one moment. That's a lot to be working with. It would not be affordable for us to be able to duplicate that. But the platform is fully automatic. It's integrated into blockchain from receipt to payment. What that means is this, ladies and gentlemen: if you decide that you want to buy some Bitcoin, which you do from an exchange, and you want to purchase a package from Gladiacoin, you have to pay for it with Bitcoin. We do not accept cash. We don't accept credit card or bank wire. It is Bitcoin. However, the good news is that we also pay in Bitcoin, meaning we do not pay in cash or currency. We don't put the money into your checking or savings account. We pay in Bitcoin, and it goes automatically directly into your Bitcoin wallet. Some people will see that every day. Some people will see it every other day. I mean, it just depends on the package that you start with. But it is automatic, these daily payments. You don't have to go in and request the payment like you do with a lot of companies. It is on autopilot. You'll wake up and you'll go, oh, wow, there's Bitcoin in my wallet. It happens every day, and that's why we're so happy. So, Mike, thanks for the music. Here are some of the exclusive benefits to Gladiacoin. We're an international company. These servers, the main servers, are located in Singapore. We have mirror servers in multiple locations around the world. Undisclosed, I might add. Everything happens in real time. The beautiful part about this system is that it's not a Monday through Friday payment system. It is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week payment system, meaning we get paid 7 days a week. I was really impressed with that first time around when I got paid on a Saturday, and then I got paid on Sunday, and I'm like, wow, I got to recalculate this because I was figuring on 20 days per month, not 30, right? We also have a referral plan for those of you that may be interested. It's optional. We have a binary network that can accelerate your earnings using a binary system, which is very simple, from 5 to 15%. That is also paid daily. Let me tell you what we don't have. We don't have titles. We don't have monthly maintenance. We don't have quotas. We don't have auto ship. We don't have matching bonuses. We don't have fast start bonuses. It's just a way that we can reward members who want to help us expand our member base, okay? And let me tell you, it is so simple to use. I think you'll agree if you've been to the Gladiacoin website, you're going to see it's simple to understand. People get it the first time they read it. You can access it from a tablet, from a smartphone. I'm constantly opening up my smartphone and checking my back office just to kind of see, how things are going. And I can do that anytime, night or day, and so can you. So there are two ways that you can earn. The first way is passively. Maybe you join this call tonight because you see a way that you can earn passively and you don't have to refer anybody if you choose not to. And we'd love to have you as a member because you can earn 2.2% daily for a period of 90 days. At the end of 90 days, your Bitcoin would have doubled and you have one of two options. At that point, you can choose to renew if you want and go in for another 90 days and double your Bitcoin, or you can choose to just walk away from the program. Nobody is forcing you to do anything against your will. There's no contracts that you have to sign or anything like that. It is just totally optional and it's up to you. There's a progress bar when you log in. It's free to join, by the way, and then you get this website when you log in with the username and password. And then it's got a progress bar from 0 to 100%, so it shows you how close you're getting to doubling your Bitcoin. But remember, you're being paid on this daily. Well, people ask me about risk. I say, there's risk in everything that we do. If you put money into the stock market, there's a risk there as well. The risk here is 45 days. This is what I tell people, because at day 45 is when you would have received enough Bitcoin from Gladiacoin to offset your initial purchase. 45 days, that's it. So from day 46 to 90, then you're actually getting the bonus Bitcoin that's coming from Gladiacoin. The second way that you can earn is by building a binary network. And a lot of people have taken advantage of this. I certainly wanted to get involved and help as many people as I could. And the only way I could do it is just let them know about Gladiacoin and let them watch a video. I didn't try to convince them or sell them. I didn't know that much myself when I got started, but I was just excited about the potential of earning Bitcoin, right? So if you combine the two together, you can earn much faster. So in order to qualify, it's very simple. All you have to do is enroll one person that would join on your left team and enroll one person that would join on your right team. And it's simple to navigate in your back office. It's got, leg, default left or default right. And so it will calculate all the Bitcoin that has been purchased by your team on your left and your right, and it will pay you from 5 to 15% of that Bitcoin that's on your lesser team daily, okay? There's no flushing of the volume unless you decide to not renew your contract. And like I said, there's no other volume requirements. You never lose your percentage once you've achieved it. So it's really simple, and people really appreciate that because so many times they come and get involved with a company and they have to hit certain ranks and titles and auto ships and everything, and it just bogs them down, and eventually they just don't replicate or they don't duplicate. But here, I like to say we have a retention rate of about 100%. But I want you to look at this from a business perspective. It doesn't take many people for this to really work fast, because anytime a team member would double their Bitcoin, when I talk about retention, 100% of the time they want to renew for another 90 days. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Guess what? When they renew their contract, they have to physically take Bitcoin from their Bitcoin wallet and send it into Gladiacoin to pay for an additional 90 days. Well, that's new Bitcoin that's coming back into the system. That's new Bitcoin that's coming back into your team. You get paid on that all over, not at a lesser percentage, the percentage that you had before. Guess what? People will upgrade. You can start with smaller amounts, as low as $60, but you can upgrade anytime anybody upgrades. That's new volume that's coming into your group. Anytime somebody joins your team, that's new volume that's coming into your group. So you have this combination of people that are joining, people that are renewing, and people that are upgrading on a daily basis. That's all the volume that's coming into your team. It's just incredible to see. So here are the different plans that you can pick and choose from. And somebody can get started with Spartacus 1. That's 0.05 Bitcoin, which would be about $72, I believe. And this is the only package that somebody can start with that has no doubling. And the reason is because there's just not enough days in 90 days in order for that to happen. But if somebody wants to get started and test the water, they can do that. The only income they could basically earn is that they want to refer other people. It does have a limit. The most that you can earn is 3 Bitcoin per month. And still, that's not bad. I mean, you know, at 1,600, for example, so, you know, my math is a little bit better. I mean, that's what, you know, 4,800 per month. That's a pretty good income, I would think, on a part-time basis. Then maybe they want to upgrade to Spartacus 2. They only pay the difference. You don't get penalized. You don't have to start with a brand new package. Spartacus 2 is 0.1. So if you wanted to upgrade, you would just upgrade with 0.05. And again, that would be new volume. That does double in 90 days, and it does increase on your binary. Let's skip ahead to Spartacus 4 on the right, the one that's in black. That would be the sweet spot for this particular tier. That would double in 90 days. So a half a Bitcoin right now would be about, you know, $800, I think, $850, could be a little higher. That would double in 90 days to 1 full Bitcoin, which is great. So you start with a half and you end up with a whole. 9% is your permanent binary income on anybody that you refer on your lesser team. There is a limit. The most that you can earn is 1 Bitcoin per day there, or 30 per month. And 30 per month is well close to 40,000 in income, you know, per month, which is tremendous. I mean, we talk about it like it's not that much. You know, I don't want it to seem casual, but when you get into this space, we're talking a lot of money here compared to, you know, traditional companies that, you know, have consumable type products. I think Bitcoin is the ultimate consumable, and I'd love to have a garage full. I was having a conversation with Sarah last night. I'd love to be garage qualified with Bitcoin. Spartacus 5, this is where I started with 1 Bitcoin. It doubles in 90 days to 2. It puts you into double digits on the binary and also increases the amount of Bitcoin that you can earn monthly from 30 to 60, you know, which is huge. And Spartacus 7 is where you want to get to as quickly as possible, whether you start there or you upgrade there, which you can upgrade through your earnings or through your bonus, which is great, which is what I did. I went from Spartacus 5 to Spartacus 6 to 7, and I never came out of pocket. I did it entirely through the bonuses that I received from Gladiacoin. But at Spartacus 7, you'll notice it's a 15% binary, and that's permanent. You never go backwards. The company doesn't look at your volume and say, well, you know, you got to have X number of Bitcoin in your group. They don't play that game, okay? If you hit it, you earn it for life. So 8 Bitcoin per day is the limit. That's the most they can pay out in order to protect the sustainability of the marketing system. So everything is very, very well thought out. And so there's complete transparency. I took a screenshot of my back office, and you can see when I received the trader bonus, I signed up on the 14th, actually on the 13th. I signed up on the 13th. I got paid on the 14th. And you can see my trader bonus there of 0.222. That was from 1 Bitcoin. I also got a binary bonus of 11%. So my very first day that I went into action, I received $399 in Bitcoin the next day. And I got to tell you something, I was so excited about that first payment because it was proof to me that the system worked. And I couldn't wait to share my success at that point with other people. And then the next day, on the 15th, you can see I got a trader bonus, but I didn't get paid. You remember I was telling you the threshold of 0.03? We can see there on the 15th, it was 0.0222. That was less than 3. But it accumulated to where the next day it went up, and I did get paid. And I also got a binary bonus on 3.1 Bitcoin. The binary points are equal to Bitcoin. I got 11%. So my next day, I got 569 in Bitcoin. And then that's when I upgraded immediately. And I wasn't expecting this because, you know, nobody really showed us, you know, how this thing worked. We kind of figured it out on the fly. And when I upgraded from Spartacus 5 to 6, which cost me 1 additional Bitcoin, I paid for that from the earnings that you see. What I wasn't prepared for, though, was the fact that they also increased my binary bonus from 11 to 13% the same day. Talk about fairness. So I got paid on 8 binary points, and look what happened. My third payment from Gladiacoin was over $1,603 in Bitcoin. And I got to tell you something, at that point, I mean, I fell on my knees. I mean, I was so grateful because I had come up and I'd hit a wall with a previous company. I'd maxed out all my credit cards. I mean, I was under so much stress, you had no idea. And this was just a complete blessing. And every day I wake up, it's a blessing. And there it is, 884. And then a few days I started to get busy to build our team website. I wasn't actively building, but I was still getting my daily trader bonus. But to make a long story short, my very first week, starting with just 1 Bitcoin, I was able to earn over $3,650 in Bitcoin my very first week. And I've never looked back since. If I was to get that on a day, I would consider that to be a very low day. It is just amazing what has happened and with the amount of people that have really brought this to light. So you can start right now. It is very simple. Choose a plan that fits your financial profile. I like to tell people, you know, look, if you have any resistance or hesitancy, then start small and you can work your way into it. A lot of people do that. And so I encourage people to do that. But if you're in a position where you can say, hey, look, I see the results of other people. And, you know, Rick, you're showing me, you're being transparent with me. You're showing me your back office and what have you. I can start with 1 Bitcoin. I can start with 4 Bitcoin. It's going to happen faster for you because you get the trader bonus is going to make you more money from day one. It's going to make me more money, but you more money. So you want to think about that. Set up your blockchain wallet as quickly as possible. If you haven't done that already, it'd take you about 10 minutes to do. Carefully go through the procedures because everything is very secure and you want to pay attention to what you're doing. And you can begin receiving Bitcoin depending on the package that you pick in as little as 24 hours. Now, if you want to see instant results, pick out Spartacus 6. That's 2 Bitcoin. At 2.2% per day, it's going to pay you out 0.0444, meaning that it has met the threshold of 0.03. If you started today, at Spartacus 6, you would actually see Bitcoin come into your wallet the very next day. And let me tell you something. And then you see it the day after that and the day after that. And that makes believers out of people is that they're seeing the Bitcoin coming directly into them. And what I'd like to do, Mike, at this point, we've got a few people on. I'd like to share their testimony. And how much in Bitcoin are you receiving?
In Bitcoin?
I'm not sure, but it's about $350 a day. Just the trading bonus.
That's times 7, right?
No, that's total.
No, I know, but that's times 7 days.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Yes, so.
Okay, so it doesn't skip a day is what I'm trying to say, right?
No, it does not. We started out with roughly making around $1,500 the first week, and we went up to about 18 the second week, and the third week we were at 2,500, and it just keeps increasing. And it has just been exciting. And I was saying something earlier that I can't wait for Bitcoin to get higher because I would like to go into a car dealership and say I want to buy that car and purchase it with 1 Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. And see, that's the part that I want people to understand. Not only are we paid in Bitcoin daily, both on our binary bonus and the daily trading bonus, but that Bitcoin is appreciating in value that is in our wallet. I mean, it's like gold. If you own gold, you know, and it goes up to 2,000 an ounce, so does the price of your gold, right? And so, you know, as we begin to accumulate this, think what the Bitcoin is going to be worth that's in your wallet now 6 months from now.
Right. Well, like I said, when we got in, it was just around 1,000 a Bitcoin. And so not only have we got our money back in return already, but we're also looking at, okay, well, you know, we've also added another $800 per every Bitcoin that we've purchased. So we're up even more.
Exactly.
So
thank you so much.
That's our way of looking at it.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Wonderful testimony. Great job.
Thanks for having me.
Keep rocking, Kim, man. That's a great job. Hey, Joe, if you don't mind, why don't you just share with everyone what Gladiacoin has done for you, your first, you know, what you came in with, how you started it, and what you're doing now.
Okay, I'll certainly do that. I had a friend of mine by the name of Mike. Thanks, Mike. That had invited me back on 4/3. Paul told me about Gladiacoin, and I had just recently got engaged with another Bitcoin project, and this one turned my head a little bit, but I was skeptical, and I said, I can't say no to Mike. So I come in and joined with a whopping 1/10 position. Position number 2, I wanted to see how it worked. So for the next 10 days, I watched the transactions, and at that level, about every third day, I got a transfer to my wallet. And after getting 2 of those transfers, I said, well, it's time to upgrade to 1 Bitcoin. So on 4/12, I upgraded to 1 Bitcoin, and by 4/19, I was able to upgrade to 2 Bitcoin through earnings, and on 4/30, I upgraded again through earnings to the top level with 4.0 Bitcoin. Now that was on 4/30, so I started another account at that time with the 4 Bitcoin, and on 5/10, I completed that account, and it increased to 8 Bitcoin basically in 10 days. Now on 5/10, then I started another contract, which I'm in right now, and I looked at that this evening, and I'm at 47% in 4 days. And I can say that looking back at last week, it's been a wild ride. It's been busy. Everybody you introduced to this, whether they start at 1/10, 3/10, or 5/10, within a week to 10 days, they're coming back to upgrade. And as soon as they have enough to upgrade to the next level, they do it. I had, in the last 10 days, I've had a $5,700 day, a $3,800 day, 3 $2,700 days, and in 4 days, I'm at 47% of completing another contract. So this thing is real, and it's awesome, and it's very exciting.
Exactly.
And
Joe, hey, let me ask you this. Have you, I know you've been in the home-based arena and networking arena for many years. Have you ever been involved with anything that, starting from, a 0 level into this type of, earnings, Bitcoin earnings, or just earnings in general?
I have never.
3 to 4 weeks.
With, I think I met you back in 1996, and we've had a couple good programs over the years, but I have never seen it add up and climb and everybody be able to participate and everybody have success. Never. This is really something.
Yes, it is. Well, congratulations, Joe. Great job. Kelly, are you there?
I am.
All
Thank
right.
you.
There it is, buddy.
Can you hear me all right?
We hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for letting me be on the call tonight. My story is a little bit different. I was actually looking online for places to buy Bitcoin. I'm a financial advisor by profession and ran my own financial company for about 8 or 9 years. And so with that said, I was intrigued with Bitcoin. I tried to convince my wife about 6 years ago to buy some Bitcoin and take a chance on it. And now she's like looking at me going, I was an idiot, wasn't I? And we didn't buy any because she said, oh, I think it's too risky. And so when I was actually looking online for places to buy Bitcoin, I noticed a huge discrepancy in pricing. And I thought, holy smokes, if somebody could, if you had enough Bitcoin, you could sit there and trade it all day long and make huge margins. And so with that said, one thing led to another, and I ended up bumping into Gladiacoin. And I will say this, because I would dare say that probably 90% of the people on the call, maybe 95%, are looking at it going, is this a scam? Is this real? I mean, is this too good to be true? And I will say that I felt that way. It was kind of like, you got to be kidding. Who in the world would pay 2.2% daily when we can't get even 1% a year from our U.S. bank? So with that said, I just did more research and realized, you know what? If they are creating the kind of margins that they are on trading, 2.2% is nothing for them to pay us. And so to me, it became a win-win scenario. But then also there was the question, and I get it all the time from folks, and that is, well, nobody wants to reveal who they are. And then when I recognize, well, neither did Bitcoin. And I truly believe Bitcoin would not be where it is today had whoever created Bitcoin revealed who they are. They'd have a huge target on their back, so much scrutiny. And I believe the same thing with Gladiacoin. I believe they have created a tremendous opportunity for many people, and that they truly do want to help other people accumulate Bitcoin. And nothing about what they have put together in any fashion has given me any kind of illusion that it's none other than what it is, a great opportunity for people to acquire and accumulate Bitcoin in a very significant way, and then be able to share the concept if we choose to do it. So with that said, I just celebrated my 38th day today. I started with 1.2 Bitcoin, and I have earned 19 Bitcoin. So roughly about a half a Bitcoin a day. And you can go throw that into your calculator based on the $1,800 and figure out what that has meant. And so it's been a great blessing to my family, but even more so, the first 2 weeks I was dipping my toe in. I didn't really share it with too many folks because I was just, still wanting to make sure that it was working. And in the last, 2.5, 3 weeks, I've started to share it with folks, and I can honestly say I could get every single one of them on the phone or on this, and they would say the same thing. At the same time, every single day, they are getting paid Bitcoin. And it's going into their wallet, of course, if they've accumulated at least 0.03, and it's happening to everybody. There's not a single person on my team that it's not happening to. So those of us who have been involved in network marketing concepts before, to me, this has a built-in, it's ingenious because it has every kind of element that you'd want. You want to get paid daily. You want it to go directly into your bank account, in this case, your bank account for Bitcoin, and it has a built-in retention. Who in the world wouldn't renew if they have doubled their money in 90 days? Everyone. And so with that said, I feel extremely fortunate that I've had the opportunity to be part of Gladiacoin, and I look forward to many more days, and look forward to the day, Rick, that I can look in and go, 8 Bitcoin today and another 8 Bitcoin tomorrow. So with that said, thank you very much for letting me be on the call, and you guys have an awesome night.